The following topics are covered within this Connection to Business Advice video. We will briefly discuss our targeted channel social media methodology, explain by use of schematics how the managed service works and is delivered, then highlight key benefits for vendors and channel partners involved in a typical program, and finally provide some insight into social on demand by means of a demonstration. Research indicates that vendor marketing management have differing views on just how social media is blended into their mix of B2B channel marketing. For many, the task is simply an administrative one, targeting partners individually, whilst others choose to wait and see how the medium develops. In most situations, however, it is not seen as a tool for demand generation. Furthermore, channel partners generally have little time or inclination to trawl vendor content in order to provide their client followers with the latest information. Managed social media service from Connection 2 takes a step to providing a fully outsourced solution, incorporating demand generation within a structured way. The service actually leverages the existing partner relationships with their clients, many of whom are social media followers. By utilizing the innovative social on-demand application, intermediaries, as they are shown here, and may also include sales personnel, consultants, etc., receive relevant content which they can review and quickly repost to their social media accounts with minimal effort. How does the Connection 2 managed service work? This first step is to recruit a number of partners that will form the conduit to end-user communities. This initial setup phase is managed by a dedicated C2 account manager in conjunction with a vendor's marketing personnel. Invitations by email with self-service registration allows partners to get started quickly. A short how-to guide is provided by C2, instructing them on adding social media accounts, plus hints and advice for tailoring the service. A 4-week setup period is recommended for application branding and partner recruitment. Step 2 sees the interaction between the C2 account manager and the vendor to begin selecting suitable post content. Clearly, this action is ongoing on a weekly basis, which usually sees 4 to 5 posts delivered to C2 for broadcast during that period. Step 3 is completed in-house by C2 staff. All content posts are added to the system and quality checked before advancing to the pre-publish stage. At this point, an optional vendor approval is provided, where an appointed representative may check and release the posts. As each intermediary clicks to approve a repost, the content flows through to their end-user followers. Example numbers achieved from leveraging one post through 100 partners could often achieve in excess of 200,000. At this stage, most social media broadcast ends here and relies on secondary systems to gather prospect data. The social on-demand application, however, continues to track all posts via a specific partner to the end user. With this technology, call-to-action response data is collated and stored within the application. Incoming data is monitored by Connection 2, and follow-up calling within an agreed SLA to maximize the opportunity is performed. The C2 account manager then identifies the broadcasting partner and, using vendor partner lead mapping information, makes contact to deliver Class A leads. Other data may be nurtured as necessary. Some of the key benefits of the managed service from Connection 2 are that the service may be outsourced entirely at a standard monthly rate with no hidden costs. Clients and their partners are assigned a single point of contact for effective operations and communication, and a lead qualification facility can be integrated, maximizing opportunities. The setup phase and service recruitment work is completed by Connection 2 personnel, relieving any extra load on vendor personnel. And finally, Each post can result in significant opportunities to view relevant content. As I mentioned earlier, Connection 2's managed service uses the Social On-Demand cloud-based application. It's worth mentioning that Connection 2 is a main UK reseller for the author Pure Channel apps. There are two ways to access the application: via the vendor view, as shown here, and secondly through the partner desktop, which I will demonstrate as we go through the presentation. So let's log in. Okay, here's the standard dashboard, which provides a high-level real-time information, and to the left is a primary and secondary menu bar. The dashboard shows metrics in the form of graphics, which are mostly stages of post counts against time in days. Scrolling down, you can see the range provides some useful, but like I say, it's only a standard dashboard. There is a much more powerful report generator design tool with the product for more in-depth analysis. So I want to create a post. If I go to the main navigation and select social media, the view changes, and as you can see, the secondary nav lists the social media options. To post, I will need the top two: new post and review approve. This is the pre-published stage page where final approval will be made. So I click on new post, and as you can see, the new screen breadcrumb line shows where we are in the application. We can then begin loading the mandatory fields. First, it needs a title. I'm using the drop-down option, but new post detail could be typed in a box. Some social media environments require a group header, so I simply duplicate the text here. The next entry is campaign, which provides for grouping posts into categories, which will be useful going forward for reports and analysis. Let's just choose the right one here. The call to action asset URL is next to add, which, whilst I am entering the long URL from the browser or for the JD Edwards update PDF, Social On Demand will convert this to a shortcode when I click this Create URL button. This is very important, as the short URL is tracked by the system. So from this point, the post can be traced back from any viewer, identifying the forward partner, imperative when leads are being generated for the channel. Then it remains for me to add some message text here and just tidy that up. Just below the text box is a character count, which is necessary as there are limits to text lengths in Twitter, for example. I have 317 characters, which means with this length, Twitter and Viado, but I'm clear for Facebook, Zing and LinkedIn, which suits me this time. Otherwise I would simply just adjust my message. Okay, almost done. It just remains to choose a territory. I'm using a demo system here, which is UK only, but the licensed product has a global capacity for all countries. Just choose the post category and customer target. These are determined during the setup to match the vendor's business model. And finally, I select when I want the post to go, and if I want an expiry date on it for events, for example, with these flags and calendar options. It just remains then to click this Send for Review button, and the post is made ready for the pre-published stage. Now that the post is made ready, it just remains for an approval to be given, which will release it. I've selected the review page, and here is our vendor post, clearly marked as awaiting review. Over on the right here are three actions to choose: edit, approve and reject. I will select approve, and as you see, the post I just created is loaded. It all looks good, so I'm going to click on this approve button, and the post is now on its way to my intermediaries, along with emails notifying them the post is ready for their review. I mentioned at the start of this demo that partners have their own browser-based view in Social On Demand. Here is that view. Once again, this is a demo system. An operational view would have vendor branding. The system provides information and various filters for partners. However, the key element here is the social media accounts that they link to. Let's take a quick look. I click on accounts to get access to a list like this. At the top here are the 5 social networks available for broadcast, and below a list of all my social media accounts which have access validation predetermined. So as a partner, once this is set up, no further intervention is required. Okay, let's get back to our repost review. The post nav button takes me to a list of posts awaiting my inspection. Here is my JD Edwards update waiting at the top. I just need to select and click on the edit send for access. If I want to make any addition, I simply edit the text. However, it's evident that in practice few changes are ever made. Below this section is the pre-validated social network accounts and groups that the post will be sent to. I'm pretty happy with that, so I will just click send and the repost is done. By way of confirmation, the system reports back which network accounts received the post successfully and any failed posts there which may need further investigation. The post I completed a few moments ago was real and on a live system, so let's have a look at my LinkedIn account to see the results. As you can see, multiple entries have been made on my home page, and the posts are all showing sent by me and not from the original vendor name. In a real situation, this would reflect the sending partner, brand or contact. Okay, I can click on the JD Edwards group here and drill into the group. And there is my post as expected. So finally, let's test the link and open the PDF. Job done.